My name is Eric Amerman, and I am a Brighton Artists Guild member. Sorry. Just feel like I had to say it like that. I don't know why. Couple things. I did not prepare anything. I do have my sketchbook. If anyone would like to look at it. I'm a little different artist. I am someone that is very mixed media. I grew up in the town of Brighton, graduated from Brighton High School in '92. I had some amazing teachers in art, both in Scranton and in Brighton. And they kind of put me on the path of doing art. And then when I got into high school, it got onto metal arts. And so actually I was the very first jeweler from Brighton High School at Cooper's. I worked there for 2.5 years in high school. They called up and said, "Hey, do you have any good students in metal that can maybe be an intern?" And I made $2.22 an hour for the first time, and then it got raised to $3.33. But anyways, so that was my kind of joy of learning art, and more the kind of physical art. So I did a lot of jewelry, and then went to MSU, and I did everything I could do with art. I always had an art credit in every one of my semesters. Drawing 1, 2, painting 1, 2. I just learning stuff, and just trying to see where my brain can go, because I'm one of those people that I can look at something and blow it up like this big, right? Like I can proportionally do it with my head, but I'm not one of those people or an artist that can just out of my brain spill out this amazing masterpiece, right? I have to have some sort of visual cue or something. That's always how it's been in my life. And so I left college, and I did many things that really stretched my creativity. And then I became a parent and husband, and had a career in telecom, which is by no means creative. But I guess you can challenge it is a little bit. So I spent about 20 years not doing art other than here and there. And so I came back into it probably about 10 years ago, where I was looking at, I like sculptures, I like pieces, I like bringing information together. The whole reason why I joined the Brightest Art Guild, the whole reason is simply to sit in a room with fellow artisans and learn from what you guys have done and absorb it. I think it's called the Borg in Star Trek. But absorb it, learn it, absorb it. I learned from watching and doing, and would I say I'm an artist? Sure. Would I say I'm a great artist? No. But I've learned from a lot of great artists, and I've been able to absorb a lot of their things that they've shown me. And when you talk to an absolute artisan on how to create this rose to open up just as much as it is, right? There was an artisan that did that flower, or that the whole combination. My point is, I like to just absorb other people's creativity and try to learn from them, because they are a artisan in their own craft. I don't know how to watercolor. I totally suck at it. I don't know how to do this and that, but you know what? I'm going to try it. And so I align myself with other artisans, which is why I joined Brighton Arts Guild, to align myself with other artisans to go, hey, what can I learn? What can I do? So what I do is this. This is my favorite thing to do of all times. And that's to go to the Salvation Army and find stuff like this. You don't know what this is?
Yes.
Well, guess what? Guess what? I have 3 of these, by the way. What does it look like when you grab it and look at it? Where there's like feathers opening up, right? This is going to be a peacock. This is going to be a peacock. I don't know how yet, but it's going to be a peacock.
Right.
And so, last thing I say, because we're running late, but I'm not a traditional artist in the sense of I'm formally trained. Yeah, I got skills. I got stuff I can do that other people can't do. I can weld. I can do this and that. But the creativity and the creative mind, to me, for myself personally, is to be amongst other creative minds. And I love going, I'm stuck on this. And I talk to someone, they go, well, just do this and that, or you could do this. And wait a minute, yeah, that's making sense, right? And that's why I'm part of this guild, because I am not a painter. I am not a pencil artist. I am not, I can do a little of everything, but I am not a master of anything, right? So that's why I joined here. So yeah, this will be at some point in time a bird. So this is what I do. So I my journey in my next life of actually enjoying and doing art, because I was a VP of a telecom company, executive, 50 employee, blah, 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 blah. And when it all came down to the end, I'm like, I just want to do art. I'm just going to do art. And I'm going to learn from anyone and everyone I can do. So I took a journey for the last 2 years. I'm trying to see if I can show the scars, but I've done anything and everything. Chainsaw carving, pretty fun. But be careful, you have the right gear. Almost lost a finger. Have multiple tetanus shots from that one. But it's really just seeing things differently. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I pull over the side of the road at someone's garbage on the side of the road, and like, that's a lamp. Oh, that lamp's got some crazy design lines. I think I can do something with that, and take it. So, I mean, I've done everything from wire trees. I mean, it's crazy. 25 pounds of Jell-O. Have you ever worked with Jell-O before?
Yeah.
Is your art usually very large? Is that possible to bring
It's everything. My largest piece is probably this big. That was a wire tray I made for Luke Bryan. It was about this big. But yeah, like, no, seriously, like 25 pounds of Jell-O.
Did it solidify, or how does it?
Oh, that was a college thing. It was cool.
Oh, that.
Yeah, no, I actually built a plexiglass 11 by 14-ish container, about 3 inches deep, and it took me all night long to fill it with blank Jello, like just clear Jello. And then I had these layers of these acetate papers of, it was basically the Statue of Liberty, and there was all these flags, and they were inserted into the Jello as it was cooling. And by the way, it takes a long time to cool 25 pounds of Jello, right? And but that was a really cool piece because it was something I've never tried before. Like, who the heck would ever work with Jello, right? But not only work with Jello, but have to contain it in a box, right? And this is one of my favorite stories from my college art days. Is, you know, it was supposed to be about diversity, this and that. So I thought, you know, Statue of Liberty. I literally printed out on acetate for the whole, you know, the old school projectors, you know, right, in school, and then the flags. Insert it in the Jello, and by the way, when you fall asleep and the Jello starts to harden, you can still insert other things in Jello, and the Jello fills the cracks. It all works. But then I had to enclose the box top and with the proper glue, and then had it transported across. It was the MSU. It's basically like 4 miles from one edge to the other, and so I had to drive via bicycle this giant thing of Jello that couldn't drop or anything. I didn't even know if the steams were holding. It's Jello, it's not melted yet, right? So anyway, so go and teacher, there was a light behind it. Well, guess what? Light melts Jello.
Oh.
And next day, my professor called me and said, your project is stinking my entire office up. Can you come get rid of it? Because it was all obviously dying. But it was actually kind of an interesting piece because there was like mold growing. I'm like, perhaps I could maybe take this back and grow it more. I don't know. Anyways, so my whole point of me telling you all that entire story is actually one of my favorite stories for my art time at MSU. But I look for anything and everything, and literally when I'm in a room like these rows, anything, I look for something that is piquing my brain, right? Going, okay, there's something. I always have 10 to 15 projects in my head, okay? And so I don't know if you guys have ever read Odd Thomas by Dean Koontz, but it's called Psychic Magnetism. So I have these projects in my head, and I go, I need something for this, something for that, something for this, but I have them running through my head, and I have them in my journal. That I write. It's the only time I've ever journaled in my entire life. It's an art journal. And these are ideas. Sometimes they come at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they come at whatever. But I also do left to right, from European ways. Makes me think more. But I also write the time and date that I did the drawing. Like, what was the time I started it? And you can notice I also do red, blue ink, as well as highlights. So if it's in red and blue, blue is my normal start. And then if I add red, that's more important. If I add some color into it, it's more important. This is my method. And but I mean, I got some weird ideas, like a sculpture out of zip ties. That's
Sounds
in here.
expensive.
That's in here. It's not expensive. Harbor Freight, man. Like
Well,
$10,
you're right.
you get like 150 of them.
You're right.
But my point is your medium doesn't have to be anything you have to buy. I'll give you a perfect example. The week between Christmas and New Year's, we had the polar vortex, right? Crazy snow, right? guess what? That was all free sculpting material. I made my friend, my landlord, my friend, Miss Wyland from high school in Brighton, had a cat named Monty. He was an Egyptian cat, had this really long nose. And he passed away a year and a half ago. And it was really important to him. He was like a 17-year-old cat. But he had this really like elongated nose. And that was actually the first time I thought, I'm gonna try chainsaw carving. I don't know why, but I didn't make a Monty cat. Had a shot, and stitches didn't work out great. It was okay, but I had a second opportunity, Christmas and New Year's. That heavy, wet snow. I sat out there, I kid you not, from 11 p.m. until about 5:30 a.m. I thought police were going to come at some point in time, but I made this giant bust of this cat head for Monty. And you know what? It was so cool because it was like carving in clay, but you could always add it back if you screwed it up, you know. And so to me, it's really the it's the spark of the imagination that creates the piece, and the materials come later.
The library will be closing in 30 minutes.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, so that's what I'm getting at. Is just, you know, never. I am not a traditional artist where, you know, you have a canvas and you got material on here. My material can be anything and everything found. I mean, I've done some crazy things in the past. I also like post, if you guys ever see metal roses anywhere here in the city of Brighton, and you have no idea why they're there, I post them all around the place. So, and it's more just to give someone a lick of joy, right? You know, our art and the things that we do for people give them joy in some way, shape, or fashion. And it could be something as simple as a metal rose carved out of soda cans. Well, for us Michiganders, pop cans. I did spend 13 years in Tennessee, but anyways, my point is, you know, that's what I do. So I look very much to all of you in this room to pick your brain and want to collaborate, because I think that's the other aspect of this amazing organization, is the ability to collaborate, because we all have this amazing kind of concept of what we're working on and what we're doing and the materials we're using. However, other people may have some more ideas for you. And, you know, I'll give you an example. I got a Cricut machine a couple weeks ago. Are you kidding me? That's nutso. I got into alcohol ink pouring. I never watercolors, but alcohol ink pouring and work, amazing, easy to do. But cutting it out and making layers and bringing layers on, and, you know, so like me talking with another member of our group about what they're doing, you know, it's like layer it, you know, and so it elevates their piece as well. So, anyways, with that, I wish I would have brought more to show other than this, but this will be a peacock at some point in time. Anyways, so my name's Eric.
Longer ones too.
Well,
Longer tail.
if you have 7 of them, they keep adding up.
That's a great idea.
So, anyways,
I love your mind.
yeah, no, I have a dangerous mind, as they say in the shows. So, but no, honestly, the whole purpose of what I'm saying is challenge your own thoughts, challenge your own designs, challenge it with other people, and get their opinions. Because I guarantee you it'll make it a better piece. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Reading my brains right here. This will be at my funeral where you will look at it. So.